This wreath is brought to you by Hobby Lobby. Today we're going to make a 4th of July wreath. We're going to use fabric, a grapevine wreath, florals, and ribbon, all from Hobby Lobby. So let's get ready and make the perfect wreath for 4th of July and any patriotic holiday. Let's get started. Okay, so let's make a beautiful patriotic wreath that you can use any time of year, especially for summer. For July 4th coming up, for Memorial Day that just passed, Veterans Day, this is the perfect flag to honor our patriotic holidays here in the U.S. So what we're going to do is we're going to start off with a grapevine wreath. We've got some flowers, we have fabric. Yes, we're going to use fabric in this wreath. And we have some ribbon. Now this is traditionally a wreath that has been out there for some time, a lot of different versions on it. So I'm gonna give you my take. So let's get started. Okay, so one of the first things that you're gonna do anytime you get a grapevine wreath is you're gonna give it a haircut. That's what I call it. I get one of these grapevine wreaths and I just start, like this one is a little, you might be able to pull out parts, but I like to give it a haircut. Now, if you like all these little swirly things coming out, then you can leave it. Don't worry about it. But this is just like what I like to do. So that's the first step. So go through here, cut out any pieces that you don't want in your wreath, and then we'll be back. Okay, so now we're going to get onto the fabric part of our wreath. Now we are going to mimic the look of an American flag, and these were the two choices that I got at Hobby Lobby. They have a lot of different choices that you can pick if you want more of an Americana look, if you want more of a rustic look. They had fabrics for that. It's really whatever you want to do, okay? Any kind of Americana fabric would work. Now, I'm not going to use a real flag because there's rules of etiquette for our flag use, so I'm just going to stay away from that because I don't want to cut the American flag, and I'm just going to use this perfect fabric that you can get at Hobby Lobby. So what we're going to do is, I am one of those people who always buys too much. I think I got 2.5 yards. I really feel like 2.5 yards was too much for this, but that's okay. That's just me. So what I'm going to do is, this is, I want to say that this is the length, the width of this would be about 48 inches, 44 inches, and we're just not gonna need that much. So what I wanna do is like cut this long ways. Okay, so how are we gonna cut all this fabric? Well, I got about 2.5 yards. You don't need that much. I'm thinking it's more like 2.25 yards, we'll see. And I try to get my pinky shears to work, but they're a little old and aren't working. So I'm gonna use this wave blade that I've had on hand for a long time. I believe I got this at Hobby Lobby, so you're gonna have to check them out. But then after we're done with this, if any of the seams that are showing, we can actually just, and you see what? Oh, I cut it. How did I cut that? I don't know, but it'll be all right. So we're just gonna cut it down the middle because I don't need all of this fabric. And you're gonna do the same thing with the navy blue and white stars. Okay, so now that we have our wreath all cleaned up and we have our fabric ready to go, I did cut my fabric to about 2.25 yards of fabric. You can use less, you can use more. It's really up to you. If you get a bigger wreath, just plan on having a little extra for that. So what I like to do is, we're going to go from here to this angle. And so right here is kind of my problem spot. On every single grapevine wreath, you're going to have like a top, a bottom, someplace you want to cover up, and this is no different. So I'm going to take my blue fabric here, and I did, you know, I have that little wave seam going on. I do have some fray check that you can get at Hobby Lobby as well. So I'm going to just kind of take my fabric and we are going to lay it under here. All right, we're going to make sure we're going the right way with this. And this is where, this is like the statement of your wreath. So we want to get this right, okay? So this might take a few minutes to kind of work with and kind of get it the way that you want, and that's okay. And you can kind of fold under some of the fabric and just have it draped the way you want. Now, I've also seen people take these and go this way to the side. Use your imagination. It's really kind of up to you and what you want to do with your wreath. But I'm going to bring it and I'm going to kind of pleat it, not pleat it, but like gather it a little bit here. All right, I'm gonna get my red fabric here, and before we put anything together, we're gonna add the stripes. This is a really popular wreath in the summertime. So many people make one. I've never made one. I've always appreciated them, and I thought, you know, I need to make one. So this was my opportunity. So I love going shopping at Hobby Lobby because you can find stuff for a project anywhere in the store. And don't always limit yourself. I tell you guys this every time. Don't limit yourself to one area of the store. Shop the whole store. Go to all the aisles because you'll never know what little gem you'll find for your project. Okay, so I'm gonna pull that under. So once you work with this a little bit, you're gonna come down here. All right, okay, so we've got it down here. I'm gonna take my white wire that I got from the floral department, and I'm just going to take it and I'm gonna wrap it around, and we're going to tie it off like so. Okay, I'm gonna do that pretty tight so it stays really good. All right, I'm gonna wrap it again because we don't want this to go anywhere. You can get these like a pack of 20. They're really handy. Okay, so there we go. So that is the basis. Now what I did find was as I'm putting this got shorter and longer. So what I'll probably do is I will trim this at the end, but honestly, I'm gonna look at it at the end, and if I like it, I'm just gonna leave it. So it kind of gives it its own little look. So what you can do is you can play around with the fabric some more to get it the way you want. You could even add a little bit of glue back here, which I probably will do, and have it cover the wreath a little bit better. But now let's get out our flowers and start adding the beauty to this. Okay, so now let's put our greenery and our florals on it. And listen, if you walk the aisles at Hobby Lobby, you're gonna find a lot of choices. If you wanna order online, all of this stuff will be linked in the description box below. But if you wanna walk into your local Hobby Lobby, make sure to go down all the aisles because there's so many choices. I picked these really pretty red roses, and I'm not sure if these are forget-me-nots. These are forget-me-nots. I'm not sure. So tell me in the comments if you know what kind of flowers these are. Tell me what they are because I always get them wrong. But I'm going to tell you what I always tell you when we do these florals. We are going to separate out the stems and we are just going to cut them. I'm going to do this with all of my flowers and then we're going to put it together. I got out my Sure Bonder pot that I got at Hobby Lobby. Great investment in any type of crafts with florals and all that. So I'll be right back and we'll have this ready to go. Okay, sometimes I forget that I didn't hit record and I put these in and did not hit record. So we're gonna just start this over again. So I have all of my floral sticks all cut, ready to go. And basically you're just gonna start dipping them in your glue pot if you have it, or just use a glue gun of your choice. But I'm gonna use my glue pot. And I'm just gonna start putting it in the grapevine wreath. Make sure we're not gonna put it on top of this fabric at all, just the wreath, okay? So you're gonna put as much or as little as you want, and you're gonna make it your own. So I'm gonna keep it pretty close to that center. I want it to come down there, but I don't wanna put it on top because we don't want any of that glue showing. That's why grapevine wreaths are really a great thing to have for these types of wreaths. And I think that's why they're so popular right now. So if you want to make a beautiful wreath for this summer, this is it. The perfect wreath for any patriotic holiday, or if you just love the American flag and you want it up all year round, you got it going on here. So I'm just going to add a few more, and then I'm going to leave it because I have some more. And if I want to add some more, we'll add it at the end. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to start adding our roses here. And if your leaves aren't the right direction, you're just going to turn them around, or you're going to clip them if they don't want to go or cooperate the way that we want them to go. And again, no wrong way to do this. We're just going to put them wherever we feel that they look the best. And then you're just going to kind of play with the little leaves here, make sure they're facing the right way. You can even cut them down a little bit if you don't want as many leaves here. I'm going to cut this one. It's so easy to do. So I'm going to add these. I'm going to add some of these, which I think are really pretty. I just push the leaves up and just use your imagination, okay? And you just want to balance it. You really do. You just want to balance all your colors and your design. So I'm going to add a few more here and there, and then we're going to make a bow. And I have a few more little embellishments I'm going to show you how you can even take it up another notch. Okay, so the floral part is done in my opinion. I added quite a bit. So I had one stem of the red roses, one of the blue and white flowers, and then I used 3 total of the greenery. So if you want to pare it down a little bit, maybe you don't want this much in the flowers, you could cut down on the greenery. You could use just 2 colors. It's really up to you. Use your imagination. Now, one of the other things that they did, and I'm going to show you how to make a bow because I think a bow is really going to set this off really nicely, but Hobby Lobby has all these great little ornaments. God bless America, let freedom ring, happy 4th of July, whatever you want to do. If I was to use this on this wreath, I would cut off the wire part. I would take it, actually just cut the wire, take off the little beads, and then tie it with this wire onto the center here. I think that would be beautiful. Now I'm going to do something a little different, but I always like to give you some options. They also have these really nice Freedom, July the 4th, America. You could add them to your wreath wherever you would like, but again, I'm not going to use them, but I like to show you the options. What I am going to do is you can get a package of these, like, let's see, I'm not sure. They're kind of rustic, and I can't think of the name, kind of Americana, but we're going to put these in our arrangement. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take apart, like this one right here is a little chip there. So I'm going to dip it in my glue pot here, and then I'm going to just set it down in the different parts of my wreath here. Wherever I find a good spot. I'm going to take a red one because I think the red is really pretty too. Maybe put it up here and just kind of have them kind of popping out. I'm going to do the same thing over here at the bottom. They'll be really pretty. This one's a little bit bigger, so that's kind of nice. I like the different sizes, but I'm going to put about 3 in each size. So 6 altogether. You can get, it's a little bag that you purchase, so you can use these for other projects too. And now let's get our ribbon out and make a beautiful bow for this wreath. Okay, so we're going to start off with some of this white and kind of faux burlap look of ribbon. We're going to take it and make a nice size tail. Not going to keep myself to any kind of length here. It's around 14 inches. I'm going to take it and I'm going to measure another 10 inches. And I'm going to gather that and I'm going to come back, okay? I'm going to do this again, but this time I'm going to twist the wire, come back, because there's a good side and a bad side. It's really hard to tell, but there's just a little bit of the good side and bad side. So you always want the good side showing. I'm going to do this again, 10 inches, come back to the middle, and twist another 10 inches and come back to the middle. All right, I think that's really pretty. All right, so now we're going to cut another tail here. Oops, I didn't cut that very good, but that's okay. I'm going to take a zip tie, or you can take a pipe cleaner, whatever you want to do. But I'm going to take a zip tie because we're going to add some of the star ribbon, this patriotic ribbon that they have in the July 4th section at Hobby Lobby right now. So let me pull this. I'm going to cut that. You could use that and call it a day, and it's really simple. You just want to keep all the lengths of your bows the same, okay? It's that simple. Then I'm going to take this really pretty Americana, and we are going to, again, cut this part off here. Take a nice length so that we can cut it later. I'm going to now do this at 8 inches. So wherever you have about 8 inches, you're going to come back and we're going to twist it, okay? And just keep measuring 8 inches. Gather it, come back to the middle, and then we're going to twist it again. 8 inches to the middle, twist, and another 8 inches. And there we go, all right? Then I'm going to cut this off. I'm going to take my white bow here and I'm going to put this right on top, okay? I'm going to hold it all together there. And then I'm going to take one of those white wires that I got from the floral department. And I'm going to put it around it. I'm going to pull it and twist. And now that's ready to go on our wreath. So let's go get our wreath. Okay, so we have our wreath ready to go. And now we're going to just take our bow and I'm going to take both sides here. And where we actually gathered it before, that's where we're going to put it over top. So right there, we're not even going to go behind the wreath. I'm going to put it exactly where we gathered the fabric. And then you're just going to kind of play with the bows, the loops, and all of these really pretty things that make this beautiful. I love how this turned out. This is not hard to do, guys. I hope that you will give this a try. I hope you will check out the other Hobby Lobby videos that I have down in the description box. I have a whole playlist of all the wonderful Hobby Lobby projects we've done. And oh, this is so pretty. So all you're going to do is just cut it, the ends. I'm going to dovetail them like so. And this is going to have a nice long drape. I don't even know if I'm going to trim the bottom. You can trim the bottom if you want, but I'm going to kind of hang it up and see how I like it. But this is how you make a patriotic ribbon and floral with fabric wreath. It's so much fun and it's so easy to do. I love how Hobby Lobby has all the products. You can go one-stop shopping and make a beautiful wreath. So anyways, if you made it this far, again, make sure that you leave me an American flag down in the description box below. That helps me know that you watched the whole thing. And let me know, have you tried this wreath before? I want you to try it. So Hobby Lobby, thank you for sponsoring another video here on Julie's Wreath Boutique. We are here every Sunday night at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Make sure to subscribe and come back to learn something else next week. We'll see you then. Bye-bye.